The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to Sex by Hazzard with your host, Jen Hazzard, right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact Jen right now, dial 905-725-1907. Toll free, 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide, 1-866-656-5477. Email Jen, realityradio101@yahoo.com. And now, your host of Sex by Hazzard, Jen Hazzard.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday night, coming to you live from Toronto, Canada. And again, thank you for listening. We're going to be asking people to call in tonight or send emails. The topic that we have is, how do you keep a relationship exciting, the spark going? What do you do in your relationship to keep it going with lots of excitement type thing? And my guest tonight, for those of you who have listened to Ladies Night In and Out, she was a guest last month, and her name is Jen Huggins, and she is joining me again tonight. So thank you for coming, Jen.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited again to be here. This is great.
Yeah. I know we've been friends for a few years.
Yes.
And when I asked you very last minute, can you fill in, someone was sick. And you were right there, and you had a great time, didn't you?
Wonderful. I had a wonderful evening. It was an excellent experience. The ladies were great, and I went away smiling. I'm still smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thank you.
Yeah. I thought I got tremendous feedback. You know, you just did a really, really good job. You seemed very comfortable. Everybody said the same thing, that you seemed absolutely in your element being here.
Well, I was nervous, as you know, but you know what? The environment and definitely the company took the edge off, and it wasn't long, and I felt really at home.
Yes.
It was good.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
And did you find the same thing that I do, that you forget that you're actually on the air after a while?
Yes, totally. You're sitting around having a conversation. You're with the girls. You're whatever the case may be. But yeah, definitely was unaware at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it just sort of flows, eh?
Exactly.
And if you thought the 2 hours with Ladies Night In Out went fast, wait till you see how fast this one goes.
Yeah.
It just zooms by.
I bet. I thought, last week I thought, 2 hours. I hope I can, do 2 hours. And you're right. It went by really fast.
Yes.
Really fast.
Yes, and this one zooms.
All right.
Now, Jen, part of the reason why I asked you, first of all, because you did such a good job, but also you've been in a long-term marriage.
Yes.
And how many years is that now?
Well, I'm with my husband for 16 years. We are married for 13.
Okay.
And they've been great years. They've
16
been good.
years.
16 years. 16 years together. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Quite a
good.
long time.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. It's my longest relationship. Out of all my relations, this is my longest, and definitely a good journey.
Yes.
Yes.
And Michael, your husband, I've met him a few occasions now.
Yeah.
And I just think he is such a doll.
You know what? He's he's pretty amazing. I'm very fortunate to have found him. He's very giving, very loving, very tolerant. And, I thoroughly enjoy my time with him. You know, it took a bit, the initial stage of the first bit of the relations, you're getting to know somebody. Yeah, here's some uncertainties, but definitely my soulmate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just so cool. Eh?
Yeah, totally happy I found him. It's a big world, and I was able to find him and he me, so.
Yeah, very good.
Right, yeah.
Very good. And Gary, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good this week.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing
How
good
you's
too.
doing, huh?
Yeah,
You doing all right, huh?
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
And listen, we got to touch on the camera. Jen and
Yeah.
I chose not to have the camera
That's
set
right.
up tonight. Just
Right.
we're not dressed appropriate for
No
that.
problem.
We're
I
in
didn't
our.
hit the. It says here start broadcast, and I didn't, but I can still watch you guys now. But you're not being broadcast.
Okay,
So yeah.
but we want to touch on that because I imagine it'll probably be next week.
Sure.
That we'll be filming. Jen and I just the visuals here. I mean, we're in very, very sexy clothing, and we didn't think
Right.
it would be good for the
Yeah,
listeners
that's
to,
true.
be seeing us this way. 'cause
And I
they
have
might
to do
get
a
worked
double
up.
disclaimer when you do that.
That's
so,
right.
And I,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, we're in our sweats, and that's the reason why we.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah, babies.
Yeah.
No problem.
So I'm going to give out the phone numbers.
Sure.
Local, if you are in the Toronto area, 905-725-1907. North America, toll free, it's 1-866-905-7325. And worldwide is, again, toll free, 866-656-5477. You can also send us an email at realityradio101@yahoo.com. So we want your input in what sort of what do you do to make the relationship exciting? And they say, there's that old saying that they've had. If you took a jar and you put a penny in, well, I guess they don't make them anymore. Took a dime.
Yeah, take a dime, bring it
Took
up
a dime
notch,
and
yep.
put it in the jar for every time you made love in the first year. That it would take you about 10 years to empty those dimes if you took one out for any time.
Really?
Yes. So certainly now this again, you're probably more looking at couples traditionally that this is an old saying, so
Yes.
more that probably they didn't live together, they didn't have a sex life before marriage type
Right,
thing, and then
right,
children.
right,
Children I think
exactly.
definitely make it harder.
They sure do. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got to be
Yeah.
creative definitely when children are
Exactly.
Go out and get a
Exactly.
lemonade. Hurry, honey, quick.
Yeah. This is it.
Yeah. Send them to the store. Here, go get some candy.
That's right. That's
Go
right.
buy some
yeah.
home improvement supplies. But that'll take me forever. Doesn't matter. Go get them.
That's
Yeah.
it. Exactly.
Yeah, but again, there's nowadays it is so different because we've got the internet.
Yes. Technology.
Yeah, so I think in
Yes.
some ways it can enhance a relationship.
Mhm.
In other ways it could make a relationship harder.
Yes. And present challenges. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It depends, I guess, in how you are using that technology, what it is that you're seeking and involving. Are you doing it together as couples? Is it a solo? Is it something that isn't shared? So
Right.
definitely.
Yeah, and I think there's more room for temptation.
Yes.
I guess with
Yes.
Facebook,
Yes.
or any of the social media type things.
Yeah.
I could see where the trust level. You have
Yes.
to have that trust.
Exactly. Exactly.
That you're both on board and.
That's
and,
right.
you
That's
know,
right.
So
doing-
Jen,
right.
would you let someone if they didn't shoot your face? That's what you got to worry about per se. Would you let someone shoot you having sex with somebody?
Shoot me.
It's not shoot you like
Film
film
you, baby
Oh,
girl.
you say
Film
film
you.
me.
Could
Hey,
you
in New York, we
perform?
say shoot you, huh?
This is it.
It's something I've never done, Gary.
You've never been.
I've never made a movie.
yeah.
I've never had had it taped. Definitely, I've thought of it.
Well, let's say you had a guy that the sex was amazing, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you break up, you don't see the guy, but you're thinking about him or you're fantasizing. If you had a film that, say, was shot with
Right.
him doing what you love to do and blah, 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 wouldn't that be like a major turn on for you to say, I'm going to pull out the disc and watch?
I don't know. know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it
I
would
think
be.
in
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
no, I think in some ways it'd almost be the opposite, right?
Why?
Because then it'd be like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah, but still, if you're going to masturbate and let's say you're going to fantasize, you might as well, fantasize about someone you really cared about or were in love with or something, and you can see it visually. It's almost like you being there again. Of course, it's not the same as the real thing, but that's what I'm saying. So you never filmed yourself at all?
No.
Did any guy you were with
No.
ever want to film?
It hasn't come up an awful lot, actually.
I know the cook over at Wally's, if he's listening, he wants to film. No, I'm only kidding. All right.
No, it's not. I think, I don't see anything wrong with it. Definitely. People, personal choice. When it comes to sex, you've got to, yes. What you're comfortable with, what your partner's comfortable with, I'd say almost anything goes as long as you're not harming somebody.
Right.
Then
I know
it
when
becomes a different situation.
When K-Dog Mike Kalenko has sex, he looks at car magazines. Thank you.
You can see the old engine running, seeing the hot rods.
It's like,
eh?
oh, baby.
Rev.
Oh. Yeah. No, only kidding.
But I think it's again, it's something that there's a few things on my sexual bucket list.
Yeah. Tell me what they are.
What they are?
Yeah.
Well, making a movie.
That would be one.
Yeah, that
but
would
not
be
a
one.
but a movie for privacy, just yourself. You're saying not
yes.
a real porn movie where you'd make money and distribute it.
No.
Okay.
No, because then people don't want to see me naked.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know, Jen. I beg to differ. Come on, girl. I beg to differ.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just any porn that I've seen.
Yeah.
They don't have the stretch marks and I've had three
you know what?
cesareans and
This
my
is
boobs
mature
are
porn.
old.
Mature porn.
Mature porn.
Yeah.
Mature.
I
Yeah,
still,
we're mature.
I still, I don't know. I can't see it commercially being a good idea. Plus, I just wouldn't do that. I have children.
Right. Okay.
Just the thoughts of it.
But that's one thing on your bucket list that you would make a movie.
Yes,
or
I
at
would.
least a video for a bit, right?
Yes, I would.
What's another?
Yes. What's another one? I got to think of one that I can say.
It's a sex show, for crying out loud. You can't say.
Oh, I know one thing that I can say.
Yeah.
I know one thing that I can say, and this is the last one I'm going to say.
All right.
I have never tried nipple clamps.
That would hurt.
Jen,
I don't think it would.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
Jen.
does. Yeah.
Get yourself a set of nipple clamps.
Okay.
Hey, I got
See,
You
Gary?
will like nipple
See,
clamps.
Gary's like, don't do it.
And if you're going to get nipple clamps, might as
Right here.
well get a cat of nine tails. Because
Right here.
I'm telling you, you put the two together and it's magic.
Gary's
Those
got
work.
clothes
Those
pegs.
work.
Do
they
they?
do. Yes, they
Could
do.
I put these on you?
Yes,
right
they
now?
do.
Right now, sure, Gary.
And
Come
just-
on in.
These-
Come on in and put
I
them
got
on.
these.
Yeah, come and put the
Yeah,
clothes pegs.
baby.
Hang my blouse.
No, because Dell will kick my ass. He'll be
Oh,
jealous.
yes. Oh,
Now,
yes.
see,
Yeah.
so these work?
Those do work. Yep, for sure.
Could I try
For
'em?
sure. You can try them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See,
Put
that
them
to me
on.
is not a turn on.
Oh, but you don't.
Well,
Wait,
see-
now you just put them on. Now, once you have them on, just let them go and let them hang a bit.
And you've done this, Jen?
Yes, I have.
And is it good feeling?
I enjoyed it.
A little pain is kind of erotic,
It is.
isn't it?
That's
yes,
right.
I
That's
think I
right.
would love it.
So
I think I would love it,
you
actually.
would, Jen. You
Yeah.
would, because as you know, the
Wow.
nipples are very sensitive, and there's a certain point in those nipples that if you tweak them just right,
You get chocolate and vanilla milk.
you can feel the whole of your uterus contracting. So it's pretty magical. So
Wow.
with the tit clamps, in particular with the tit clamps, once you get them on, you're just to let them hang. You kind of lose a sensation there, the same as if you were to pinch your fingers tight. But then you just gently tug on them a bit. And you tug on them until, you start feeling them becoming erect. And
Wow.
they usually come erect pretty easy.
Jen,
Oh,
you're
I
a
think
wild
mine-
woman.
Mine would be
It's not
erect just
wild.
thinking
It's
about
Yeah,
it.
just,
to
it's
me,
just,
though.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really, like I said, if for males or females, because I know that with Michael, if I gently roll my fingers around his nipples, hey, I get a response. So when you
Nice.
put the pressure of the tit clamps on and you gently pull on them, and usually they come with a chain, and so you would pull on the chain. You don't actually pull on the clamp itself that is hanging from the nipple, but you will pull the chain away from your chest just gently, and then as the sensation increases, you can get a little rougher and tougher if you like.
Now, could you give us that again in like a German accent? Because this is Dr. Ruth.
That I could not.
Hey, by the way,
that I can't.
Some
but
lady wrote in and said, answer this on the air. She wants to know if I ever filmed a sex scene.
Ah.
I can honestly say I have not, but I've taken pictures.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Right,
Yeah.
because I was on the road. Look out, baby.
Yeah.
There was no digital cameras. We were going through 35 millimeter film like it was no tomorrow, right?
And where did you take them to be developed?
We actually had staff people that do that,
Okay.
right? Because they had their own dark rooms. They did all our band stuff and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And there were places, and there still are, even here, that will, you don't need to do it anymore because of digital stuff, but there are certain places that will do that, providing it's not child porn,
That's
right?
right.
They would
That's
do
right.
that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
so I
still-
never filmed. I never actually movied anything like that, no.
Okay.
But I've had pictures, yeah.
See, and is it something that you would want to do?
I would do it perhaps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd want my face shown, because just in case, that got out and you didn't want that to get out. I mean,
Right.
if
Exactly.
you can block your face or whatever and still go to town and do what you got to do, and then of course no one would ever know who it is, so it doesn't matter,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So yeah.
Unless, of course, you became intimate with them, and then
Yeah.
they might recognize
Hey!
your body,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Right,
and
but it's not. Or if you have a tattoo or something.
certain
Or a funny
markings,
birth
tattoos,
Yeah. Right.
piercings. This
Right.
could get tricky, right?
But
So-
but that's not on my bucket list. If I never filmed or anything, I don't care about that. That's
no,
not,
same
yeah.
here. Same
Yeah.
here. It wouldn't be a huge thing, and I think definitely you have to trust the person that you're doing it with.
yes,
Yeah.
most definitely.
How many people have, celebrities, they've
Yes.
leaked it out or,
Yes.
Yeah.
or gotten. Now let's get back to the tit clamps.
Yes.
And by the way,
Jen
Jen,
likes the tit
Jen,
clamps.
redhead Jen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before you leave tonight, I'm going to give you a pair of those.
Tit clamps?
I have them right here. I was holding them up close.
Oh,
Jen
the
said,
clothespins.
yeah, but these are not conventional clothespins. These are nice and padded, and these would be perfect for you tonight to experiment.
Yeah, but the problem is I've got to have somebody to pull them.
Yeah, well, try it first yourself.
Jen, hun, you can pull them yourself.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Right.
Oh, I know. What can I say?
You just-
I've pulled them many
Yeah.
times.
You
on
know,
my-
this is it.
So
This
use
is it.
these. Well, and your guest Jen here.
Yes, me.
Pretty
yes,
erotic
Jen.
chick, man.
yeah,
Is your husband
sexy,
listening?
Sexy lady.
I have a funny feeling he is.
Mike, don't
He-
kick my
he-
ass, but your woman is hot with all that talk, man. I mean, wow. What an expert.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
He won't let me put tit clamps on him, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
But he
either.
also won't let me put a collar or a harness. So, I mean, I'm just
Whoa,
working
so
with
you-
what we got here.
Oh, wow. You little wild thing, you.
You know,
Jen's-
gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
16 years, folks. You gotta keep
There
it
you go.
going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gary, how long have you been with your wife?
Elaine?
Yes.
Yeah,
That wife.
Yeah.
Versus
Well,
the.
my first wife, to be honest with you, I was with her 17 years.
Okay, so for quite a while.
Quite a while. And Elaine, now it's from 94 till now. What is that?
19 years.
9 years. 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
From
okay.
2004.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 94.
Yeah, I might have said that. No, it's
Okay.
2004.
Right on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you? First of all, we'll finish up the tit thing.
Yes.
The tit thing.
I think for men, they're not as used to it. I think for them it can be a lot more sensitive. And I could see where some men wouldn't really be into it. But Jen, did you breastfeed your children?
I sure did. Both of them.
Yeah, same
Both
here.
of them. Yes.
Same here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the difference,
Yeah.
Gary, is
Yeah.
because our nipples are tougher.
Yeah,
Right?
they are. They are.
Yeah.
Like as far as the skin and just the suckling definitely gives them a protection that say a man does not have, or a woman who has not nursed. It toughens them up.
Yes.
And so a more of an aggressive play, if you would, is stimulating. Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's
yeah.
what I found too. The older I get too, the more
Yes.
it's like I like it rough with
Yes,
my
harder, faster,
Yes,
rougher.
Yes, mess them up, move
Nice.
them all around, twist them all over the place,
That's
radio
right.
dials,
Yeah,
like turn
yeah,
it,
That's right.
And if I'm going to say, if there's one complaint that I have about recent partners type of thing, is that they don't pay enough attention to
no,
boobs.
exactly, not stimulated enough.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes. So I can see where now the clamps that you get, like obviously there's an advantage to getting them in the actually I should mention this now. Mention Sex by Hazzard or Reality Radio 101 at Naughty But Nice in Oshawa, and you receive 10% off all of your purchases. And naughtybutnice.com, they will ship right across North America too. Now, I can see the advantage of getting one, because then you've got that chain to pull.
Yes, exactly. And the
Right?
chain, that's the part of it that exactly, because if you're pulling right on the actual clamps at the breast or the man nipple, whatever, either way.
She's playing
It's a
with
different.
her nipples while she's
I am, and I just called
Good
myself
thing
and I
the
said, "Oh, I
cameras-
hope nobody is watching."
Yeah, good thing the cameras aren't up. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, baby."
This is it, right? But pulling on them creates a really wonderful feeling. And just one thing I want to say about tick clamps is you can get the last time I played with tick clamps, you could have a variance, which is a pair that you clip right on and then they close and that's it. That's the pressure that they stay at. But then there's also adjustables.
Oh,
So you can start off with a very, very gentle clamping of it.
okay.
And then you can, as the play or as, you become more excited or aroused, you can tighten them. And again, pulling on the
Wow.
chain, going from a light pull to a more aggressive, more maybe dominant pull,
yeah.
Look
see,
at
that's a good
different-
idea.
two
Redhead
different-
Jen is drooling.
Two different types. I just had to.
Right?
I gotta go shopping.
Hey,
you're
I'll
gonna
come
have
with
to
you.
Gotta go shopping.
Okay, so you're Jen number 1 because it's your show, and I'll say because people they don't
Jen
see
and Jenny.
Jenny. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Jenny.
So Jenny,
Jenny.
Yes.
Jen is
Yes.
drooling over these
Well,
examples.
it would be exciting. It's
Yeah.
something I would love to try.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
breasts are something that sometimes get overlooked in intimacy.
Yes.
They get overlooked. And the truth of the matter being, I'm not sure about women that haven't breastfed, but there is a lot of sensation going on at those little nipples. And really, like I said, for myself, there are times where I'm well aware of my uterus and my vaginal walls contracting from the nipple stimulation.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And so they are something that, men, if you're listening, you should pay a little more attention. I know the clitoris is a big seller, big seller, but the nipples for the women, there's eroticness in it.
Oh yes.
You know?
Oh yeah. It's important.
That's right.
Yeah, it's very, very
You know?
important.
Yeah.
I wonder if you took a traditional roach clip type idea or a
Yes.
tie
That would
clip
hurt
or-
You
because this got a
can.
lot of teeth in it.
You
right?
I was gonna
can.
say,
You can do it. You can do it. Again, like if you start out moderate, okay? And like I said, if it's something that you enjoy and it gets you off to a point, you can tense it up. You can be more aggressive with it. You don't have to go rough with it. So you can use a roach clip for sure. Under every circumstance, you can do that. And even the teeth, and I've never used it, but the teeth, I do believe, would add an extra pull.
Yes.
It's a different,
Yes.
it's not flattening it, it's creating a ridge in it. And if it's slightly pulled and even teared, well, for some that could be quite stimulating.
Yes.
And Jen, those I just gave. I
yeah,
kid you
Gary.
not. I just pulled those out of the package. They're brand new
Okay.
because we use them to
They,
clip.
they haven't been used.
No,
on your
no,
nipples
no.
yet? Yeah.
Look. See them all?
Yeah.
See the package?
Yeah.
Because we use those to clip cables, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what they're for.
Yeah. Cables.
Look
yeah,
at
yeah,
you,
yeah.
Check
baby.
it out, Jen.
Yeah,
Try it
I'm
out,
going to be
you
bringing
know.
these. I'm going to be bringing these babies home with me tonight.
Yeah.
Those would work, huh, Jenny?
No,
They will, yes, they will, and they got padding there, so like
Yeah,
for
totally.
That's
Yeah.
true. It'd
For,
probably be
you
more
know,
comfortable.
yeah.
See, it's
Yeah.
barely.
What
It
about
doesn't feel like a lot of pressure at all.
Okay, so
really.
when you go to do this the first time, this is just my opinion. When you go to do this for the first time, try to get the clamp as far down to the base of the nipple as you can. Don't go for the end of it. Okay, the end is for big timers. Okay, that's the big.
what
leagues.
about putting one of those on your clits?
You can.
Your clit.
You can do
Just-
that.
Oh, see that I don't think I'd like.
No,
You
why
can do
not?
I don't think I'd like that.
No,
Dell's going crazy listening to this show right now. I could tell you that. I'm
once
sup-
the clitoris is engorged, it's not a comfortable situation.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
going to say.
again, in the introduction of play, while being aroused, it can do. But once it's engorged, there's just too much. There's too much there, too much blood, too much internal pressure to put the external pressure on top of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gentle tugs with lips or fingers
Yeah.
is a whole different. But to pinch out would not.
I don't. I can't
No.
picture enjoying that.
No.
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 No, I can't.
That's just too much.
The actually one of the other things that I've never tried is one of those swing things.
Ah, the Chinese swing.
Yes.
Yes.
Look how Jenny knows all these
Yeah,
things.
well,
Oh
long-term
my-
relationship,
Hey,
right?
this
Oh
is it,
my
right?
This is the
goodness.
difference. This is what
Mhm.
I've been missing
Yeah.
out on all these years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, the Chinese.
What does your
swing.
husband do for a living, if I may ask?
He works in the trucking industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is he not home for a few days at a time, or is he an overnight guy, or?
He's got 4 days on and 4 days off.
Oh, I can imagine the four. Yeah, when they get back together, that's why they know.
Exactly. That's it. We make the 4 days at home good.
And kids are still at home, though, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yep. And you just like John said at the beginning of it, you got to you get creative, There was a while where it was like the middle of the night, and this just isn't working. You're exhausted, so the middle of the night to wait until everyone's asleep and all, it doesn't quite work. And there's there's a whole sense of eroticism about, shoot, if the kids walk by or heard something. So you play with that too.
Yes.
I'm not a volume woman.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not loud. And so for me, sneaking around with my husband while the kids are home, that can be done.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But as for a woman who has, a voice about her, it's tricky.
Yes.
It's tricky.
Yes.
And to try to contain that is even trickier,
Yes, and especially, there's all sorts of issues with children and things like getting a little hook lock on your door, your bedroom door, so you feel they're not going to accidentally walk in.
Yes.
Again, quieter, a pillow over your head, screaming into the pillow, right?
Yes.
Or there's different ways that you can still be creative.
Yes, exactly.
Just have a shower together.
Yes.
Right?
We use that one quite frequently.
Yes.
And it's not questioned. It's not, it's not peculiar,
Right.
In the sense that, if we both go into the bathroom, it's not a peculiar sense. We both go into the bedroom, the kids are going to be like, what's going on, right?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So it's more acceptable.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the water a lot of times will drown out a lot of the noise.
Get a little more vocal.
That's
right. That's right.
And then I think that, then you do appreciate when you do have to be quiet for children, you appreciate when you've got that opportunity to, whether you're outside in a field somewhere with no one around and you can let loose and let it out, or if the kids aren't home or something along that line.
I agree.
Hey, by the way, Moses just called.
Ah.
And he started hearing the show.
Okay.
But he lost his internet connection, something he can't get, to it. But he started to hear what you were talking about, and he said it's a great subject. He loves working with the titties and this and that. He loves your show and the whole thing. So he wanted to say hello.
Oh, and he didn't want to talk to me.
No, he said no. I don't know why, but he said no. Just I don't know if he wanted to waste your airtime. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
Moses could waste my airtime anytime.
Yeah. So he's a nice guy.
I love that man. He, Jen, he was one of my guests a few months back. He's actually from Nova Scotia.
Oh, nice, wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And he came up and was part of one of the guests on the show, and made up the 10 Commandments of sex and read the 10 Commandments. So
I would like to know what those are.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart, just an absolute sweetheart.
Good soul, right?
Oh, very good soul. Yeah, very, very good soul. So that's just a bit of history. He's been calling in for quite a while. So even though you're not hearing me, Moses, you will on YouTube. Thank you for talking to Gary. Next time, talk to me too. Okay.
He'll pull up this show in the future, right? Because all these shows are posted.
Yes. And that again, people, you can type in Sex by Hazzard. It's 2 Z's or Z's in the name on YouTube. Or you can type in Jen Hazzard, Jen with 1 N, and Hazzard, of course, with the double Z. And there are some of the ladies' night in and out. We've only been on air for 3 months, so the 3 shows are there. And of course, the Sex by Hazzard too is there. So you'll get to hear it again.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
And Gary, we've got the song of the week.
We do, and pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of history with this song, actually. I belong to a private group on Facebook, and we get very, very twisted at times and talk about a lot of times it's very, very sexual. Let's say that. Sometimes I even blush at some of the things I say there, actually. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. But one of the one of my friends, he's been posting that there's too much smut on this page. There's smut everywhere, and this page is nothing about smut, and you guys got to stop talking about all this smut. So I actually went on YouTube to find a song about smut. And this is actually what the song is called. It is called Smut. So here you go.
So we want to play this, right?
Yes, we do.
Right here on Sex by Hazard, Reality Radio 101.
Smut. Give me smut and nothing but a dirty novel I can't shut if it's uncut and unsut. Tull. I've never quibbled. If it was ribbled, I would devour where others merely nibbled. As the judge remarked the day that he acquitted my Aunt Hortense, to be smut it must be utterly without redeeming social importance. Pornographic pictures I adore, indecent magazines galore. I like them more if they're hardcore. Bring on the obscene movies, murals, postcards, neckties, samplers, stained glass windows, tattoos, anything. More, I'm still not satisfied. Stories of tortures used by debauchers, lurid, licentious, and vile, make me smile. Novels that pander to my taste for candor give me a pleasure sublime. Let's face it, I love slime. All books can be indecent books, though recent books are bolder. For filth, I'm glad to say, is in the mind of the beholder. When correctly viewed, everything is lewd. I could tell you things about Peter Pan and the Wizard of Oz. There's a dirty old man. I thrill to any book like Fanny Hill, and I suppose I always will, if it is swill and really filthy. Who needs a hobby like tennis or philately? I've got a hobby, rereading Lady Chatterley. But now they're trying to take it all away from us unless we take a stand, and hand in hand we fight for freedom of the press. In other words, smut, I love it. Ah, the adventures of a slut. Oh, I'm a market they can't glut. I don't know what compares with smut. Hip, hip, hooray, let's hear it for the Supreme Court. Don't let them take it away.
There you go.
And welcome back. So there you go. There's your little bit of smut song for the night. Now, again, you know, with a relationship, a long-term relationship, there's so many things that you can do to bring sparks in. We've talked a little bit about sex toys. In my previous shows, we've talked about couples that actually sleep together and sleep next to each other and sleep naked next to each other have a better marriage. They have more sex than, you know, if you're sleeping in a nightie or something along that line. And they say you're more likely to stay married if you're sharing a bed and if you're sleeping naked next to each other.
Right.
Which
Really?
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, a
For
lot of
sure.
sense because then it's sort of available to you
That's right.
as
If you
the mood.
roll over,
Yeah.
oh, there you are.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can't
and
see
then
that.
there's something to be said for just for that skin-to-skin contact, right?
Yeah, the connection.
Yes. And I think one of the things in one of my relationships that we talked at the beginning of the relationship, and I said, what's important for you in our sex life? And he said, I want to do it every day. You know, I just... that was important to him, and I agreed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that we didn't or couldn't or you know, anything along that line, we made up for it.
Right.
At another time.
Yeah.
And he said, well, what do you want in a relationship? And I said, well, every week I want to do something different. Something
Yes,
we've never
yeah,
done.
yeah.
Something.
Go to Denny's, then go to Swiss Chalet, then
That's
go to...
right.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then watch a movie and...
I'm going to use a blue mug instead of the red one.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, not.
No, something sexually
Yes.
different. Yeah.
Yes, and sometimes, you know, there was even a few nights when we incorporated this, and we would be doing 2 or 3 things in the evening that we had never done before. And it kept it exciting because we didn't necessarily, like, it wasn't like we said, okay, every Saturday night we're going to do something we've never done. It was spur of the moment still, and it would come up. And again, it came up more often. At first we thought, oh, this is going to be difficult. And we didn't run out of things at all to try.
No.
It just brings variety, I think.
That's right. That's right.
You and I were talking a bit before the show.
Yeah.
And you were saying that, in the beginning of the relationship, how it's developed. The more comfortable that you got with him, the more you were more willing to experiment and look at different things.
Yes.
And,
yeah.
And I definitely think you hit the nail on the head when you said trust.
Yes, you have to have trust. You have to have trust in your partner, and there has to be an understanding that when the sexual play is on, if at any moment it becomes uncomfortable, we have to respect that. We have to change it up, but at the same token, you have to let your partner know. You have to let your partner know, ooh, I'm not enjoying this anymore, and but in the early stages, we're a little bit vulnerable, we're intimidated, we're not sure how this person might view our sexual ideas or fantasies or things that, turn us on. And so, for myself, I found that I was very reserved in my early part of my sexual play. That's not to say that I wasn't being intimate. That's not to say I wasn't performing blowjobs. It's not to say that, my husband was not eating my pussy, but that
was
about...
again. I just want to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, just say it again.
No,
my husband wasn't what?
But my husband...
What was he?
It's
What
not
was he?
that my husband wasn't eating my pussy, but just that's about it for the play. That's about it, because if you take it out of those boundaries in the early stages, you might be viewed as twisted or off the wall. But I'll tell you, as far as 16 years in having sexual relations and sexual play with the same partner, I'm pretty much game now. If as long as it's not an aggressive and will cause a big hurt, I don't mind a little pain, but a big hurt, I'm up to trying it.
Right.
But still have the same rule that, if at any point in time this becomes uncomfortable or peculiar or evokes some feeling that, I'm unsure of, it needs to stop.
Yes. And I think too, what I've experienced myself and heard from other people, there's if you try something new, there is a danger that one of the partners could depend on that, and then it's like, okay, we've got to do this over and over, and then it becomes very boring.
Yes, it's monotonous.
Hey,
Yes.
It's monotonous. It's again, you're there's no creativity, there's no newness.
Yes. Yes.
It's old hat. You can almost anticipate how it's gonna roll out.
Yes.
Now, two things. Number
Yes.
one, the emails are coming in that if Jenny wasn't married, there's 800 men that want to meet her. Okay. Second of all,
It's the voice.
yeah, but it's the content too.
Yes.
We're talking. It's like, every guys that you talk to, they say, you want your wife or your girlfriend to be a queen out in the public domain and a whore in bed.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
that's the fantasy for everybody, right?
Yes.
But put that aside,
Yes.
because someone finally got his computer up and running. You know who that is?
Moses.
Moses, are you there?
Very good.
Moses, you there? Hold on. Moses, you there?
What's going on, my friend?
Hey,
he's
Moses.
Oh, yeah, I got my...
He's going to disconnect for a minute. He'll come back on.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
I had to turn his level up, so...
And it disconnects when you turn
Well, because there's a compressor on it that if it gets too loud... So
Hi, Moses.
Jen.
You're back
We're
now.
back. Hello.
Hello, I'm here. I've been here all the while.
Okay. We
Go
weren't
ahead.
sure.
You're on the air.
All right. I heard the word monotonous, and I heard that you have to be open-minded.
Yes.
That's what I heard anyway.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
The whole thing is, when you go through life or a relationship, you have certain wants and needs, and you have certain taboos. But unless you're open-minded because you're with a partner and you're willing to make that effort, or at least give it a shot,
Yes.
that's the problem. Most couples, most relationships, most friendships, they don't take that opportunity.
I think I would agree with you. A lot of times, and again, it goes to communication and feeling safe and feeling, you know what, this is okay to experiment this way.
I don't know. You were talking earlier, and I heard you talking about me. You know how I wanted to do it every night, and you only wanted special days. The days we did the Kama Sutra. She did every page in the book.
Yeah.
And then we started freestyling.
Yeah.
Freestyling, I love it.
And it was a great time, wasn't it, Moses?
Jen Hazzard is a lovely woman. We're good friends. God bless her. God bless Gary. God bless Sex by Hazard. Whoa, you know how we do it each and every Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. Moses, what sort of, what's, I don't even know what to ask. I'm not even sure what I want to ask you. I just want to tell you how wonderful you are.
I love you, babes.
I love you too,
You know, Moses he's a handsome guy too.
Oh, he's a very
handsome guy.
We went back to Teresa's after he was on the show, and I just sat there and I could look at this man for hours and hours and hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Little hottie.
But he didn't make you a hook. He made me one.
No, I got one too.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. You don't fish,
my
though.
lure was better than your lure,
Oh,
Gary.
baby. Do you fish, though? I fish. See, you don't, do you?
Do you know, I don't fish.
Yeah.
But I keep it very close to my heart.
Well, that's got to hurt.
which isn't far from the
I
nipples,
fish as
Jen.
long as when I fish, it don't smell like fish.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moses is listening to the...
Well, God bless
yeah.
you guys. Sex by Hazard. Love you guys.
Thank you, Moses.
Take
All
care.
right,
So
you
long.
guys have a great night. I'll talk to you again whenever I come out of the woods.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Moses.
Thanks, Moses.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
And that's Moses.
That's our Moses.
Nice.
He's a sweetie.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
Yeah.
Gentle.
Yes.
Very
And
gentle.
Jen, when I saw Michael earlier
Yes.
tonight, and we were talking about the show and going in and doing the show, and you said something like, "Oh, you're going to get some action afterwards," and I said, "Oh, I'll make sure she's good and warmed up for you." And he's like,
Yes.
"Thank you."
Yes, nice and primed. Do you know why
Yeah.
he said thank you?
Why?
Because in 16 years of being intimate
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
we have not engaged in intimacy without face being performed before any other act of that evening. And so, me being primed up means that we'll just get right into it. He's off the hook. And so for him, that's a treat.
There
That's
you
a treat.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
I love this
little
guest,
less
Jen.
work for him, right?
Jen,
Yep.
this is the
Isn't she
guest.
amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, I
She's
think
very
she would
open
make
and
a very
honest.
good. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, and she'd make a phenomenal addition, I think, to the ladies' night in and out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
She-
I chose wisely.
would-
You know,
Yeah, I
Jenny,
enjoy
unlike Jen,
Yes.
I'm asking this lady I don't even know, right?
Uh-huh.
I've asked her
Look at
questions
the
and
innocent
she's
look on his
she's
face.
she's answered these
You
questions.
can say no, Jen.
And
You don't
I've
have to
I've
answer.
known Jen now for a while, and I can't get straight answers from her to save a. I
Right.
just can't get it. She
Right.
won't, and Jenny's answering them.
Yeah, I answer.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Everybody's at reality radio is still wondering about everything.
No.
Yeah,
No.
You
we
have
are.
to keep some secrets. You
Yes,
have
you do.
to have some secrets. You have to keep them guessing.
Yes.
know? There's a lot of
Mhm.
interest in a naked body, but there's a little more interest and intrigue in a half-naked body.
You know, a woman's
Very
greatest
true.
asset is a man's imagination.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Oh, yes. I know that one.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Can't put it all out there. You got to
Just be-
hold it a little back.
That's
Yes.
right. Just because I'm fat, it doesn't mean I'm stupid. So there. There you go.
Oh, Gary, you gotta love you.
Right.
But what other, again, there's books too. One of the things a partner and I had was a books, and it was 52 weeks or 52 lovers thing or something like that. And each week, you ripped out a page, and it was either the one partner or the other that
Okay.
knew what it was. The other
Okay.
one didn't.
Yeah.
And then the next week it would alternate, and they'd give you a scenario, and you could modify it. You could
Right,
change it.
right.
One of the simple ones was for me to strip.
Mm.
But they didn't just say, okay, go and strip. They gave you a pep talk first, and
Right,
they
right.
said, okay, do it up with jewelry and, you know, different things like this. This is how you surprise him. And,
yeah.
you know, so again, it was the element of surprise every week.
Yes.
And it was the fact that the anticipation, knowing something's coming this week. He's going to be doing something. Or in you know, his situation, she's going to be doing something.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And there was some
it's a
phenomenal.
build up. There's a build up.
Yes. And again, it was some of the I mean, the stripping, obviously, that's one of the tamer out of the bunch. But even, you know, one was just simply a position.
Give me one of the not so tame, Jen.
What, the not so tame?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this was, you know, what he was supposed to do, and he even took it to a higher level. You know, it made it phenomenal, actually. And I came home from work, and he had... supper laid out,
nice.
You know, with a bottle, or I think it was on the stove. It wasn't actually ready yet or something, and a bottle of wine. And he said, well, he goes, I thought you might want to have a bath before supper. And he said, come on, you know, come on. And he goes, I've got a bath set up for you. And he had even put a nice note, you know, Jen's spa bath or something like that on the door. He bought a new CD of music that he knew I liked, and he had it set up. He had candles set up, a vase in the corner by the bathtub with a rose, and he had bought brand new towels and brand new sheets as well.
Nice.
On the bed. And he said, okay, he goes, I'm going to wash your back. You know, and wash you, and this is you having a bath, and I'm going to watch you having a bath. And at first it was sort of like, oh, this is kind of weird. I'm used to him either not being there or being in with me.
Yes, yeah. Right on, yeah.
And it's like, he's like, no, I just want to watch you enjoy yourself. You know, and then at the end of the bath, he went and he pulled the plug, and you know, the water started draining down, and he goes, okay, he goes, just a minute. And what he did is he took my legs and he ran the water under the faucet.
Oh, girl,
and
put your legs
yes,
up against that
so
wall.
Yes.
Isn't that
So
magic?
the water was coming down, and of course, you know, having a good it was the first sexual thing of the evening, actually.
Yes.
And, you know, with your clit right under the water, we know what that feels
I
like.
do. You know, and again, that's the semi-aggressive on the clitoris. When I was saying earlier,
yes,
you know,
the
there is an intense sensation and peaking that comes with that.
Yes.
And
yeah, and then he climbed into the bathtub with me, and we went at it at the bathtub. Nice. We had a lovely dinner and wine, and then when it was time to go to bed, you know, new sheets on the bed, which I didn't know at that point.
Yeah.
You know, so of course we fooled around again.
Yes, dirty them up.
Yes.
Dirty them up.
Yes. So it was just, you know, there was the romance, the appreciation, the surprise, doing something different.
Yes.
And I remember you know, like looking at him when he was grabbing my legs, like, what the heck are you doing? But it was like,
he was taking some control there
yes.
and showing you how much fun this could be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, so there's books that you can, you know, if you're into watching movies together or role playing, dressing up. I know some of my female friends, they view it as degrading. They don't want to dress up as a Catholic schoolgirl or a teacher.
I did it. Wow, I did it. And, you know, I did it a few times, and really, I enjoyed it.
Yes.
And I don't know if it was really the whole idea of a Catholic schoolgirl thing, or if it was just the damn kilt and no underwear. I don't know what it was, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a while, and I became aroused by how Michael enjoyed it.
Yes. Yes.
That aroused me.
Yes. And a couple of my friends have said, well, they don't like that because then he's fantasizing about a schoolgirl. That's not the case.
I understand.
You know,
and I've heard that about porn as well. You know, like, I don't want to sit there and watch porn with him because he's looking at her and he's, you know, getting erect and you know. But the ultimate is, it's a visual. It's a visual.
Yeah.
He's not having a relationship with the person in the video, you know what I mean, or in a picture.
Right.
It's just a visual intrigue.
Right.
No different than if you watch your partner. But on the same level, women find it degrading. The idea of your man, or a man that you are being intimate with or let all your guards down with, being turned on or achieving an erection by watching another woman, let it be playing with herself, let it being, you know, she's being fucked, whatever the case may be, that takes away our personal bubble at times. That makes us feel like, oh, you're looking over here and you're turned on by that. That means maybe I'm coming up short. We start questioning our own. And you know what? You got to be really cautious, or you're going to retract into not trying new things.
Yes.
That's been my experience.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And it is a fine line. I know with a partner, it's a fine line between sleazy, and uncomfortable and degrading, and whereas instead of empowering and making you feel sexy, like I think dressing up as a nurse, for instance, there's even though you're pretending to be someone you're not, it's still you.
That's right.
And it's and you're still the one that he's desiring.
Exactly.
Type thing. So I can see. Where there does have to be caution between people in a lot of ways.
For sure.
And Gary, I'm looking at the time actually and how fast it's going. I wonder, should we do commercial?
You don't have to. No, of course not.
Yeah.
You could just mention your sponsors if you'd like, if you want to keep going, because time is limited for you.
Yeah, I think so, because we still have stuff to talk about.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to talk about my good friend Teresa. She is one of the ladies. She's a dear, dear friend of mine. Actually, she offered to. I was out with her last night, Gary, and we were almost going to stop in after the boys' night in to get some food. We phoned Del. He was busy eating and socializing, I wasn't sure if you were still here, so we didn't stop in.
Right. We had plenty of food though, because 3 guys didn't show up.
Oh wow.
Well, we figured out one was sick and one had to work and everything, but there was enough food for 8 men plus usually the girls upstairs. Tons of food. Right.
Yeah. Well, we almost stopped in.
Sure, you were welcome to.
But she's offered to do something very sweet. My daughter's getting married in a couple of weeks, actually, and we've got to mention about there will be no show on September the 26th. It's holiday week.
Here.
That's right.
Right.
That's
okay.
right. So it's holiday week for both of us, actually.
Right.
And Teresa does body sugaring and lots of aesthetic type services, but she also makes different jewelry as well. So you can see her stuff on sugarmyskin.com, and she has offered to make my necklace for me for my. I picked out my dress.
Yes.
For the wedding, and she's making a necklace and bracelet set for me.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's a big do. That's a big do.
No
mother
kidding.
of the bride.
Oh, no kidding,
Congrats. Very good.
Yeah, no kidding. And she, so check out her page. She's also on Facebook, and again, she's got a heart of gold. She does chakra balancing too, and check it out. There's lots of things, facials, that type of thing too. And also Jillian's Jewelry Box on Facebook. She makes all sorts of different creations, and both of these businesses can ship worldwide. So again, check out Jillian's Jewelry Box on Facebook. And of course, my Downomer. It's my bar,
my home away from home.
Yeah, my bar. And it's so funny because as an older woman, if someone had told me that at my age, at being almost 50, how much time I'd spend in a bar, I would have said, yeah, right.
No, you spend a lot.
I'm there. I spend a lot of time there. Basically, I don't drink. I've never even had one drink in the bar.
Wow.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But it's just I drive and I go out for the dancing and the people. I've come to love a lot of the people there. Fabulous entertainment. Every Friday night they have a free meal and live band at 8 o'clock. It's always a great time. Phenomenal talent in there. And also every Sunday they have 25-cent wings, and they have karaoke on Saturdays and Mondays, and it's always a good time. And actually, Gary, I almost forgot to tell you. This week, last Sunday night, they had the karaoke contest finals, the qualifiers. There's a bunch of bars in the Toronto area that are going together. And Nancy, and Casey, that are part of the Ladies' Night In and Out, my good friend, she did Black Dog.
Oh wow!
Yes,
okay.
She I knew she would qualify anyway. I knew there was no doubt that she was going to qualify. But when she did this, the 3 judges were 3 musicians that are in well-established long-term bands. She did probably I think the best that I've ever seen her sing it. Like just really good job. And then afterwards, the judges just all stood up together and just said perfect. Absolutely
So she's moving on,
perfect.
continuing.
Yes.
Semifinals, right?
Yeah, I think they're the 22nd. They're on a Sunday at Chasers, but I'll know more next week.
What's the prize for that? Is there
$1,000.
Wow,
And,
that's a
and,
pretty
and
good
who's
prize.
Yes.
sponsoring that? Do you know? Because I know a guy who's doing that in Durham. I don't know if it's this guy.
Lou? Is it Lou?
No, I know a Rob MacArthur who's doing it.
Okay, no, this is
okay.
Lou. Lou owns the company.
Okay. Okay.
That's doing it, and there's $1,000 for the
Nice.
female, $1,000 for the male.
Well, I know you'd never win the prize. I mean, you should enter the prize. You should go and enter. No, help me.
There's a story behind that, Gary. Yeah, Mrs. Robinson.
Yeah, I thought it
Gary
was,
kicked me
yeah.
off stage. You know, singing at AutoFest, and Gary started doing "Get off the stage, Jen."
But you play
like it.
percussion really well.
I like
Yeah,
it.
You
yeah, but
did.
I shook the tambourines or
You
the
did
maracas.
Maracas very well.
Yes, yes, that I do well.
Yeah.
And Gary, you know, and this is the other thing. Speaking of my daughter's wedding, I'm a good dancer, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay. My daughter said to me, I said something about, you know, the length of time, the dancing at the wedding, you know, this and that. And she goes, Mom, you're not going to embarrass me, are you?
Well, because you're her mom. It doesn't matter how good you are. You're her
No, it
mom,
doesn't.
right?
That's it.
Okay,
Right,
well, I just
that's
wanted
what
to
it
check
is.
out, make sure
Yeah.
I wasn't
No,
some
no,
sort
no,
of
you were
freak dancer
no,
that I didn't
not like
wasn't
you-
aware of,
Like
right?
Elaine on Seinfeld.
That's
Remember?
right.
No,
That's
no,
right.
no. You dance
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's just the mother-daughter thing, right?
Okay.
She doesn't want to see, you know,
Yeah.
her mom dance.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
thought, well, you know what? I'm going to dance anyway.
Dance your heart out. Dance your heart out, Jen.
Yeah.
Dance your heart out.
Yeah,
Right.
it's good
Dance
for me.
like no
It
one is
is.
watching.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
what it's about. And you know, I've got Jen again. Any words, final words of advice? I'm going to be reading Rhonda fairly shortly, but you know, just I think appreciation.
Yes.
Courtesies, common courtesies, the thank
Yes.
yous, the you know, it is about starting at the beginning of the day, and you know, about you want to be nice to someone throughout the day if you want them to feel all
Yes.
you know,
lovey-dovey at the end of the day. Yes.
That's right. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Try
about
to,
doing things, bringing
that's
each
right.
other up, lifting each other up,
That's right.
and
That's right.
you know, making each other feel sexy.
That's right.
You know, I think that's one of the most important things in any relationship that I've been in. If a guy, you know, and certainly I haven't been in long-term relationships with guys like this because it's one of my things. If I'm with a man
Yes.
and he's checking out other women all the time, it's
Yeah,
like,
no.
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 Yeah,
No.
it's not my type of thing.
No.
It doesn't make me feel sexy.
No, you know, even 16 years together with my husband, I can still feel intimidated by another woman's presence. I mean, that truth be known, but that belongs to me.
Yes.
That isn't. I mean, although you know, he has eyes in his head, he's going to look. But that intimidation, that's me. That's me still having my things.
Right.
And the important thing is that I continue to work on it, and that Michael works on that with me, as well as I work on things with him. That's how 16 years of together, 16 years of pretty good sex, and just, you know, intimacy. And intimacy doesn't necessarily mean the actual act of in and out and sex. The intimacy.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But, you know, I can still feel intimidated.
Yeah.
I would love to have those 2 babies, Jen. Nurse them both.
Yeah.
Would love to have those boobies that are up here.
Yeah.
You know, but there's things I would like to have different. But you know what? I'm enjoying who I am, and I play with it.
Yes.
And I play with it.
Yes.
And
that's what it's about.
You know, and he evokes the sexy. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. And Gary,
Yes.
what have you done to keep your relationship, the spark, going? I know you've got
I'm a wild
good-
man, period. You know, when you're my lifestyle, when you were in rock bands and touring the world, you get crazy.
Yeah.
So I just,
okay.
I just a wild guy, you know.
And that's
Still.
been what's kept you with
Well,
Elaine
no, I mean,
exciting, or-
any spouse you would hope it's love, right? But
Yes.
it's this, you know, like Jenny said, you know, I like to keep things new and interesting. And you know, you experiment and you do things, and that's just me.
Right.
You know. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I'm get really aroused, I listen to your show.
Yeah.
I go, let's
it's
put
like
on
shaking his head,
let's
no,
put
no,
on
no,
Sex
no.
by
Tick
Hazard. I pull out the
clamps.
tapes.
Yeah.
I go,
Tick
whoa.
clamps on.
No, what really turns me on
Yeah.
is Dell when he goes, no,
Uh-huh.
only kidding.
Uh-huh.
Only kidding.
Yeah, Del didn't call in tonight.
Nah, he's too busy masturbating and listening to your show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And do you think the guy at the Down Homer is listening? Or not the Down Homer, the
Wally's?
Wally's.
He may be. I don't know. Dan, I'll tell you what. Dan, we got 3 minutes. If you're listening and you call in, if you are, I'll give you a prize courtesy of Sex by Hazzard and Reality Radio 101.
Yeah. We usually go out after the show. We usually go out to Wally's for something to eat. Gary spent a great deal of time last week, trying to I'm sitting there blushing the whole entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to fix me up with the cook there, and I'm just like, Gary, can you just
Yeah, I'm
get
always
quiet?
Jenny, I'm always trying to fix her up, right?
Yeah.
When she comes in here, I can tell how depressed she is. She says, I really need to find someone who cares about me. I want a long-term relationship. I don't want these one-night stands
I don't
or
say
3.
that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Let's,
You deserve to have someone in your life that perhaps you can fall in love with,
yeah, well, of course, that's
right?
mandatory,
And have some
right?
kind of a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily marriage, because that might not be for you. Whatever is for you.
Yeah.
But the point is, you deserve that.
Oh, sure I do.
You know, your kids, you have one younger child at home,
Yeah.
but your kids are grown, getting married, they're moving out,
Yeah.
and you want to share life's pleasures with somebody.
Do you know what? I think at my age, there's a real fear that I may never have a good sex life again. It's like, geez, am I
Yeah.
going to be able to in 10 years? Are my hips going to work? Is it going to stop working?
You'll get the swing, baby girl. You'll get the swing.
Yes.
You won't have to worry about if your
Yes.
hips work.
Yes. That's why I've wanted to. Have you tried one of those swings?
No.
I would
Not-
love
not-
to.
Yeah, I
would
yeah,
love
I think
to.
it's a pretty neat little mechanism. I would be intrigued too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is
Yeah.
cool is
Yeah.
the table with the hole in it. Did you ever see those tables? They swivel?
Okay, I think
Yeah,
so.
Oh, no. Explain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
explain.
and this table, and it's down ground level, and the guy lays on his back, and his pee-pee is up through there. And the lady gets on the table, and she can do all wild things while you're swiveling the table.
Oh,
Okay.
that's kind of like a bondage wheel.
Yes.
Oh,
Very
maybe
similar.
that's what
Yes,
it's called.
I think so.
What
It
about the
might-
Sabian? Have you been on the Sabian?
No. What is this?
That's the Sabian. It looks like picture. You remember the horses you used to have in school? You do
Gymnastics. I knew it as soon as
Okay.
it
Yes.
sounded.
Well,
Yeah.
but picture that smaller, only about 2 feet, right? And it's still round like that.
Yes.
And there's a mechanical cock that comes up through the center.
Oh.
And these cocks, the Sabian it's remote controlled, and it can do all kinds of things. You sit on that, and it's like you're riding a guy, right?
Wow.
Like your legs are over his hips, and this thing can do whatever. And it's one of the most probably phenomenal sex toys that have been around the last 5 years.
Okay.
You know, they're so these ladies, if you go online and you read about these reviews and everything, they say no vibrator, no sex toy can compare to that. This thing is supposed to be amazing.
Does it get your clit, though?
Yeah, it does. It's double stimulation. It's clitoral and vaginal.
Okay.
You know,
Girl, it's a
okay.
horse. Lean forward, lean
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
It's getting
Yeah.
everything. Come on, I'm already
yeah.
figuring out how would I do that.
So yeah, it's called the Sabian.
Yeah.
Sabian.
Yeah.
They sound expensive.
They are.
Yeah.
I looked into it. No,
Yeah.
no, they are. But I have cheaper toys in here.
Yes, you do.
Are
Your
you-
good old teal vibrator.
it's here somewhere,
I'm
yeah.
sure it is there.
Yeah,
You keep
yeah.
it quite close,
I
don't
do,
you,
yes.
Gary? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, now, Jen, I did warn you about Rhonda.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
yes.
my
Bring
my
on
slutty
Rhonda.
friend Rhonda writes in about her erotic adventures every week, and let me tell you, she is quite the wild woman. So be prepared. I'm sure
I'm
your
ready.
your
I'm
ears
ready.
can handle
Let me
it.
just sit back and get comfortable here.
Yes, and we'll get the music ready.
I'm working it.
You're working it? Okay. So, hi folks. I was up to no good this week, and let me tell you, I had so much fun. I was taking the train to visit my aunt, and on one of the stops, a construction worker got on. He sat near me and looked over, giving me a very sexy smile. We chatted a bit, and he said his name was Luigi. He was going to the same town to visit his cousin, and I knew we would be on the train together for a couple of hours. There's our sexy, sexy music. I could feel my pussy getting very wet and a dampness on my short skirt, and of course I was not wearing any underwear. I crossed my legs and noticed his eyes trying to get a look, so I decided to give him a little peek. There were a few others on the train, but they were sitting far away and not paying much attention. Before I knew it, Luigi sat down beside me, reached up my skirt, and started playing with my throbbing clit. I could tell that he was already hard, and I discreetly unzipped his pants and started sucking on his cock. I lifted my skirt and climbed on top, using my sweater to cover us up. One woman looked over at us with a shocked look and quickly turned away. Luigi and I did it many times after that, but the adventure on the train was by far the most exciting. So there you go. There's Rhonda.
Nice, Rhonda.
Yeah,
nice
she gets
work.
even worse, eh? Like, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, she and I've got to have her down on the show. She's talking about coming soon. She lives out of town, so it's a little hard.
Right.
You know, but she will be coming on the show.
Nice writing.
So Jen, and I told you, didn't it go by fast?
This was yeah. Let's do
just
another
seems-
hour.
Yeah.
No, it was great.
We could easily, right?
Yeah.
We only started on the sex toys.
We're just hitting the tip of the iceberg here.
No kidding. So listen, is Michael going to be happy with me after the show?
Yes, he is.
Very good.
Yes, he is.
Awesome.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes,
again.
anytime.
This has been great.
Anytime.
Thank you.
And of course, I also want to thank Static and the Stars for my theme song, The Down Omer, Jillian's Jewelry Box, Naughty But Nice, and Sugar My Skin. And of course, thank you to you too, Gary.
Yes, Gary.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for-
and my
thank you for
listeners-
having Jenny on.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Good
And
time.
yes. And remember, folks, do your part for world peace and have an orgasm tonight. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
You've been listening to Sex by Hazard with your host, Jen Hazzard, right here, Reality Radio 101. Coming up, it's the best pop and rock music ever recorded right here on your internet radio station, Reality Radio 101.
Waiting on action. All the girls walk around in a pack, readjusting their straps in their shower curves, looking